Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Now with today's main headlines. Saudi Arabia vision for reform. Pakistan civilians must not be tired under military laws. EU's unfair policies to prevent Mediterranean crossings of refugees. Karbala, director of Iraq's media communication organization, visits Imam Hussein Media Group's central office. Assalamu alaikum dear viewers, this is Hussein Jawad and you're watching Shia Waves live from Imam Hussein TV 3. Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch requested that the government of Saudi Arabia to respect human rights. A joint statement released by these two international organizations, a copy of which was obtained by Shia Voice, reads, "It is obligatory for the Saudi government to respect the views of civil society and to take steps in the direction of reform." The statement added all civil activists and opponents of the Saudi government should be free to express their opinions. This is an element of human rights. They should express their opinions without fear and freely. Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch also added in their statement, "We stand with Saudi citizens who strive for a better and freer future in Saudi Arabia, a future that respects human rights." On 8th of May, former Prime Minister Imran Khan was arrested and his supporters held nationwide protests during which there was incidents of violence. At least 8 people have died and thousands have been arrested, including political leaders of Imran Khan, Tehreek-e-Insaf party. Pakistan's army described on the 9th of May as a dark day and warned protesters of severe retaliations against further attacks on military and state properties. Pakistan is the only country in South Asia to allow military courts to try civilians for non-military offences, including offences related to terrorism. Deputy Regional Director for South Amnesty International has said, "It is alarming to note that the Pakistani army has states its intervention to try civilians under military laws, possibly in military courts, which is contrary to international law." According to an article published in Al Jazeera, European Union authorities have strategically manipulated rescue operation policies as a means to prevent the arrival of migrants crossing the Mediterranean Sea over the last decade. Deliberate delays in response time, neglecting boats, need of rescue, international mismanagement of rescue information and assets, and creating interference in the operation of rescue NGOs at sea are among the policies mentioned by the author. A recent article highlights the deliberate strategy employed by Europe to discourage refuge arrivals by implementing delayed rescue responses. Since 2017, EU member states have further reduced rescue assets, creating a rescue vacuum in the central Mediterranean. The Civil Maritime Rescue Coordination Centre reported that the Maltese authority regularly abandoned people in distress, with over 20,000 individuals ignored in 2022. Italy has also limited its operational scope, leaving vast stretches of the sea unattended. European aerial surveillance operations have not effectively reduced the death rate, as Libyan forces, guided by European assets, prioritize intercepting boats while neglecting those in immediate need of help. These deliberate delays in rescue responses reflect strategic elements built into the current system of European migration governance. Civil rescuers such as NGOs have faced increasing hostility and obstacles with maritime authorities withholding information and imposing lengthy inspections upon arrival at the EU harbours. Closed harbour policies in Italy and Malta have further hindered their operations. NGOs have been forced to reduce their time at sea due to prolonged disembarkation processes. Italian authorities' systematic policy of assigning distant ports has prompted legal action from NGOs. The article emphasizes that these incidents, including boat capsizing and loss of life, highlight a systematic European strategy that weaponizes time to deter refuge arrivals at any cost. Let us remind our respected viewers of today's headlines. Saudi Arabia vision for reform. Pakistan civilians must not be tried under military laws. EU's unfair policies to prevent Mediterranean crossings of refugees. On Tuesday, May the 16th, Director of the Media and Communication Organization of Iraq in the holy city of Karbala visited the central office of Imam Hussein Media Group in the holy city of Karbala and was welcomed by the management of the group. During this visit, engineer Mithaq Talib, after conveying the greetings of the head of the organization, announced that the organization is ready for any joint cooperation with the media group. Hujjat al-Islam wal-Muslimin Sheikh Mustafa Muhammadi, the Secretary General of Imam Hussein Media Group, said that this organization and the institutions under its authority are ready to cooperate comprehensively with Iraq's media and communications organization, as well as any other media and satellite networks on various occasions, especially Arba'in Husseini, to cover the procession of Arba'in Husseini in the holy city of Karbala. It is worth mentioning that during this visit, engineer Mithaq Talib appreciated the activities of Imam Hussein Media Group and the development and technologies used in its new building, the Media and Communication Organization of Iraq, which is the most important licensing center for satellite networks in Iraq. It is tasked with the organize and develop media and communications in Iraq in accordance with modern international standards. Now let's continue with some short news. A new report by the UN Special Rapporteur reveals that the Myanmar military has imported at least $1 billion in arms and raw materials since the coup in February 2021. The report accuses UN member states of enabling this trade through complicity, lack of enforcement of bans, and easily circumvented sanctions. Russia and China are identified as the main suppliers of advanced weapons systems to the Myanmar military, with Singaporean arms dealers playing a critical role in the operation of deadly weapons factories. The report calls for a complete ban on arms sales to Myanmar's military and coordinated sanctions on arms dealers and foreign currency sources. Gunmen targeted a US convoy in Anambra State, southeastern Nigeria, resulting in the death of 4 individuals, according to the local police. 2 of the victims were identified as US consulate employees, while the others were police officers. The attacks also kidnapped 3 individuals and set their vehicle on fire. The US confirmed that the incident, stating that no US citizens were present in the convoy. Nigerian authorities are conducting a rescue operation and investigations are underway with collaboration with the US and Nigerian security services. Violent attacks in the region are often attributed to the indigenous people of the Biafra movement, which seeks a separate state in the southeast of Nigeria. Sweden is due to become one of the world's first smoke-free countries, as less than 5% of the adult population is smoking. This comes as smokers are switching to cigarette alternatives such as vapes, nicotine patches, and snus, which is a type of dry tobacco that is put on the gums. However, it increases the risk of mouth and throat cancer. The smoking rates have drastically fallen in the country from 15% to 5.6% in the past 15 years. Sweden is now 17 years ahead of the EU's 2040 target. Dr. Dillon Human is the co-author of the report, The Swedish Experience, a roadmap to a smoke-free society. Report told Euronews that the statistics are showing that the country has the lowest percentage of tobacco-related diseases in the EU and a 41% lower incidence of cancer than the other European countries at the moment. In 2019, the indoor smoking ban was extended to include outdoor seating, including restaurants as well as public places as well. The Hussain team in Uganda made a special visit to a deaf school. Whilst at school, they provided all the children with a hearty meal, essentially care packages, which included toiletries and clothes. The UK-based charity started up in 2012 in the heart of London by young individuals from different backgrounds who came together with one common objective: to tell the world about an inspirational man, Hussein, the son of Ali ibn Abi Talib. The charity has rapidly grown into a global movement with representatives in over 90 cities around the world. They aim to empower communities around the world to organize charitable events for the common good. Coalition parties in the German Bundestag have written a letter urging the government to introduce Islamic military chaplains in the Bundeswehr. With over 3,000 Muslim soldiers currently serving, the coalition argues that it is essential to provide them with the same spiritual support already available to soldiers of other faiths. The letter highlights the recent completion of Muslim counseling course and emphasizes the importance of recognizing the reality that Muslims play significant roles in various sectors of society. The establishment of an Islamic military chaplaincy is seen as a step towards inclusivity and religious support within the armed forces. We have reached the end of today's Shia Waves show. Let's remind our dear viewers of today's main headlines. Saudi Arabia vision for reform. Pakistan civilians must not be tried under military laws. EU's unfair policies to prevent Mediterranean crossings of refugees. Karbala director of Iraq's media communication organization visits Imam Hussein Media Group's central office. You can view the latest news on our Shia Waves website, and you can send news of your city or country to be published on our news agency. Contact us on the numbers at the bottom of the screen. This is the end of today's show. Thank you very much for watching. We pray to Allah Almighty to hasten the reappearance of the Master of our time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allahumma inni as'aluka al-aman.